Hello everyone, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and today we're going to be training around an hour of chess in preparation for the Blackpool Congress, which for me is starting tomorrow. I couldn't play the Friday evening round because I have a pretty busy workday on Fridays. I didn't really want to do a lot of rescheduling and cancelling for that. In fact, actually, I'll be playing both rounds tomorrow, and then I'll have to be taking a bye round 4 again because of work obligations. I've already been missing enough Sunday morning sessions due to 4NCL, so I thought, okay, it's since I've got some flexibility here, let's just take the bye. So I'll only be playing 3 rounds of chess, but having said that, I will be playing a league match on Monday and another league match on Tuesday. So I'm definitely going to get my fix of classical chess. And in terms of preparation, all I'll mention is I plan to have a very early night because I've got to catch a very early train tomorrow. So basically gonna stay off the online chess before the tournament. And I have some calculation exercises that I've been meaning to solve. So I think I'm just going to set these up, solve them, probably get very tired as a result, and then just crash and sleep. So that is my evening plans after this Woodpecker stream ends. So without further ado, welcome Gloin to the stream, and let's get into some Woodpecker. So we're still in this intermediate section. Actually, how many more do we have to go? We've got around 100, 130 more of the intermediates. And then we're finally free from the shackles and we can decide what to do with our lives after that. So let's keep going. Leko against Kramnik. Kramnik to play. Gloin says, donated blood and got a day off work, so spent it on a chess puzzle grind. That's a crazy, crazy day. Haven't heard anyone live that unique experience before. So, hope the puzzles were good and hope you are warmed up then for this Woodpecker Sesh 2. Okay, so we've got 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 5 pawns, 2 rooks, 2 knights, 7 pawns. So we're 2 pawns down, we've got the bishops versus the knights. Is this not just the pin? Because if they take, then can't we just take? I mean, if they take, then we take. Is this not just working? This can't move because this is hanging. This can't move because this is almost hanging. If we give this bishop attack, they can't take. They can't throw in a check because they're just not safe. Knight is the only piece that can give check. Is it not just this? I guess what's concerning is there is this pawn, right? There's some shady business happening here. But how big of a deal is it? Like, if here and they push, then I take. If they take, I take. But then that's probably just an equal exchange and we're actually still in trouble. So maybe f7 is a big problem. Anyway, I'm jumping the gun, as usual. So, what else is there to note? So yeah, we've got this X-ray pressure on the rooks. The rook on d2 is defended by the knight. The knight on e4 is defended once. Knight on d5 is defended by pawn and rook. There's a scary pawn on f6. To be fair, the bishop is covering this queening square. That might be useful. And the rooks are also covering these squares. So for instance, after bishop g5, f7, maybe we can sack here. And then when they take, then we can take, perhaps. Because we're still covering the promotion with the rook. And there's no rook e8 because we can take probably with the rook, right? If we take with the bishop, they queen on f8. That's a complicated line, but I think bishop g5 we're fine, and if they take, then we can just take, we're covering. So we just sack the rook. I think it works. Bishop g5. Yeah, and then we just need to take here. Yeah, so that's where the analysis helps a lot. And rook e7 is something I missed. Difficult move to see because it's not as forcing. You would think that this should be enough, but maybe the issue is that then there's rook e8, right? And take here, take here. I guess bishop f4 might be strong, right? Because we stay material up, and the knight can't take due to back rank. Looks kind of good. Oh, I didn't consider what happens if white goes down that forcing line of rook e8, rook takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, and then the bishop's hanging at the end. So bishop, okay. So yeah, I'm just being too lazy. Being too lazy with calculation, as always. Bishop takes knight. How does that work? Surely just rook e8. Is it going to argue the point that bishop takes rook e8, bishop takes f7, rook takes d8 is just slightly better for black? That's the only line I can see. Or after bishop takes d5, rook e8. Surely no other moves that make sense. Yeah, it's the only move that makes sense. So I guess that's apparently best. Bishop pair is usually much stronger than a rook and pawn. That's a pretty shoddy statement from Axel Smith. In the endgames, the rook is much more combative against the minor pieces. I don't think it's completely trivial, but in particular, the bishop has very good against a rook, as opposed to bishop and knight, because when you dominate both colours, the rook often can't access as many squares. Welcome Iche as well. How's it going? But yeah, bishop f4 was unfortunate. Rook e8. Yeah, and I saw that bishop e8 there's this queening motif, but rook e8, f e8. Oh, I can throw in a check and then take, and apparently this is just draw. That's quite surprising. I'd still fancy black to be slightly better with the pawns on both sides, but fair enough. Maybe with best player to draw. Okay, good that we at least saw f7 as a move. And I know I did jump the gun a bit, but I'd say this is more than a trick. This is just a good move, right? Yeah, rook e7's just best. I mean, a nice last trick is kind of a misleading comment. Anyway, what to expect from Mr. Axel Smith. Let's keep going. Kramnik against Zadvakasov. Haven't heard of this dude. White to play. So we've got queen, rook, rook, bishop, bishop, knight against queen, rook, rook, bishop, bishop, knight. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, for the record, for anyone wondering, coming from last stream, I won my league match on Wednesday. And it was quite a nice Gaganitsa grind. My opponent was definitely an attacking player, so it's always a nice feeling to get a win against an attacking player. But yeah, managed to neutralize his play, and was quite a convincing win, I'd say. Okay, completely lost my bearings. Let's count again. Bishop, bishop, knight. 6 pawns. Okay, so we're a pawn down. Namely the h-pawn. But in return, we have some pressure on their king. Our king is kind of long-term weak, but not short-term. So what tension is there on the board? So there's tension here. There's protection on h7. Tension here, x-ray to the bishop. X-ray to the king, x-ray to the pawn. There's a lot of defense on this square, maybe some x-ray this way. Rook is undeveloped. Fine. Maybe there's pressure on f7 as well. Right, so loose pieces? Bishop is actually loose. Bishop is loose. Queen is loose. Pawn is loose. Right. I guess there's actually X-ray pressure back this way, so I wonder if a move like knight takes h7 can work. Right, if bishop takes, then we can like win. Bishop takes e5. Maybe that wins a pawn back, but maybe we can do better than that. So okay, let's begin with our checks, captures, threats. So checks, we've got queen f7, queen h7. Captures, we've got knight takes, rook takes. Also bishop takes. Also bishop takes a6. What threats do we have? Maybe g4 or f4. Maybe doubling the rooks if that does something. Right. So let's begin with our checks. Queen h7, bishop h7 forced. Don't see a follow-up. Queen f7, rook f7. Don't see a follow-up. Maybe queen f7, rook f7, knight f7, then just queen f7 is probably good enough. Okay, so what about captures? Knight f7 is interesting, because if queen f7, then we could do a discovery and open this up, right? So I don't know what, but maybe like rook takes e5 or something. Yeah, that's surely good enough. So knight f7, let's say they take with the rook then. Is there a follow-up there? This is interesting if not for knight takes. I think knight takes is fine. Although then there's bishop takes, queen takes, queen check, king h8. Looks like we win a pawn, maybe. Knight f7, rook f7, rook e5. There might be some annoying g6 though, somewhere. Not entirely convinced. Alright, shallow calculation, let's keep moving. So what, knight h7, bishop h7? Yeah, this was the idea I had earlier with bishop takes e5, knight e5, queen e5, rook e5 to win back a pawn. Why, okay, why can't I just start with bishop takes, knight takes? Also, knight takes here is maybe somewhat interesting, just because if bishop takes, then bishop takes. I guess the difference here is that maybe they can throw in this first. And actually, same with like knight h7, knight f7. Can't we just take our bishop? That's a loose. What have we achieved? I guess if we take there, maybe we can take here. And then we are threatening if they keep taking stuff, we can do a discovered check. That's probably winning with queen h7 as such a big threat. So maybe knight f7 actually does come with a threat, so that they can't just take on b2. Take here. So maybe it's just knight f7. Knight f7, rook f7, bishop e5, knight e5. Okay, apart from like this knight f7 idea, is there anything else? I feel like I've eaten too much for dinner. That's my excuse. Like, the blood is going to the stomach, and the brain is not braining. I mean, I identified some like loose pieces. I just can't make anything work. Don't know what else to think about. Like bishop takes somehow looks like it does something, but then I don't think this really leads anywhere. Yeah, running out of time. Wow, knight f7 is actually correct. That's crazy. So I think I was mixing up both rook takes and bishop takes. Rook takes makes some sense in the sense that it kind of like pins this rook. So it makes sense you would start with that. But bishop takes, it does hit the queen. Maybe both are fine actually. Unless I'm missing a line partway through, they both should transpose. So which one is more forcing? Rook takes actually comes with a threat on the bishop, right? So maybe rook takes is the stronger move. It forces black to take with a knight, in which case I can take. And then I'm really up a piece, unless they take me, so they have to. And I don't really see why it's so good, but I guess we win back the pawn. So let's try it. What? And this is why I need to look at every check and capture within a variation. It's just so unintuitive. Like, I can't even bring myself to calculate it. What the hell is queen takes f5? Queen takes f5? If rook takes? Oh, double check. With mate? Bruh. I'm so cooked. I'm so cooked at this game. Queen f5. So we win back our material. And do we have any threats? Like, why can't we just take on b2? Maybe rook d7? Maybe rook d7 is working better. I think that wins. Because the point if queen takes, then just queen takes, and the rook is still pinned. Maybe rook d7 is the big threat. That's crazy. Queen f5, what a move. Oh, okay. Just blunders checkmate. Yeah, bishop takes b2, rook d7. And the game ended after g6 and bishop e5. Yeah, I guess after pawn takes, bishop takes, rook takes, and then rook d7 picks up the rook. And then you just up a rook. Wow. Bishop e5, knight h7. Oh yeah, this was one line I looked at, I think. Starting with knight h7. And what about my knight f7 move without taking on f5? Rook takes. Yeah, my other move was I wanted rook takes. This is apparently not so good. Oh, but this is good. They should just play bishop g6 in between move. Yikes. Now I've got queen g5. Yeah, I guess they're not forced to take me, actually. Kind of evaluated this was good, but which I guess it is. Yeah, bishop g6 a nice in between move. Yeah, but queen f5 is so nice. Just not anywhere near on my radar. I guess I need to do more double checks to mate. I think I'm not very experienced with them. Arjun says rook e5, knight e5, bishop e5, queen e5, knight f7, queen takes a1, king h2, we should win. Well, what is this line? So rook e5, knight e5, bishop e5, if queen e5, knight takes f7, queen takes a1. This does not win, Arjun, unfortunately. Yeah, I guess you don't actually have a strong enough discovery. And the black queen is coming back to the defense, so even less chance that something works. Attacking chess is hard, man. Is definitely hard. Okay, let's keep going. Kramnik against Volkov. White to play. Welcome, Rando. How's it going? How's life? You never sent me the Garganitsa game, right? Or if you did, I don't think I received it. If you did, definitely drop me a message because like I don't remember receiving it. So I remember you played this Garganitsa League match and it went wrong, and like you have to analyze these games. And if you lose a Garganitsa game, I feel morally responsible for that loss. So you're welcome to send it to me. Not bad. I won my league match on Monday. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so what's going on? We've got queen 2 rooks bishop, queen 2 rooks knight. 7 pawns against 7. So we've got bishop versus knight. Very different pawn structure. Pressure on c6. Doubled a pawns. Potentially a half-open f-file. No way for black to clog it up with knight f5. White definitely feels like they're in command. So we've got some x-ray pressure to the rook on c7. That's only defended by the queen. Rook is loose. Bishop is loose. Some pressure here. Pressure this way. Maybe after this puzzle, I'll have a look at the Blackpool games as well. See how my competitors are getting on. Let me make a note of something. Okay. So yeah, what checks do we have? We got no checks. What captures do we have? We can capture on c6, capture on a5. What threats do we have? Maybe d5 does something. Rook c1. Rook f1. Okay, so let's look at the captures first. If we take, they just take back. No follow-up. If we take here, they just take our rook. So d5 looks very promising. They can't take with the c-pawn because we win the rook. If they take back with the e-pawn... Oh, there's some X-ray pressures here. I don't know if I identified that. So maybe there's something here. Like rook takes. So far, material just is equal. If they take here, then we take here. King g7. And we have one in exchange at the least. If we don't do anything, we are threatening to push, potentially threatening to take, but maybe not. It definitely opens up this, and it does feel good. Yeah, d5 should win. Yeah. And now the question is rook takes really the best move here? So what other captures do we have? Capture this as well. Keep the threat of playing d6 alive. And now if they take, maybe now this is a better version. If they take my bishop, I take the rook. And this time I'm a whole rook up. So maybe this is the better version. Having said that, we don't need to take. We could do something else like move that queen. But then I'm threatening this. It looks very, very concerning. Although, maybe queen b7, if d6, maybe rook d7. Still feels extremely good. I don't know if that's more or less winning. I mean, this is the trouble with evaluation. Like, which line looks better? To take with the rook or to take with the pawn? Both look promising. This kind of brings in more risk, like black has more options. Whereas this is pretty decisive, is it not? Queen takes is basically forced. And then we take here. They should go to h7 actually to avoid any e6 and queen c3 type stuff, but maybe that doesn't work anyway. You'd hope that's relatively easily winning for white, but maybe it's not. I mean, if they take, then this is definitely much better. But I don't think they have to take. The question is, do we really have enough? It does look very good. Queen b7 just pushed d6. Rook d7. I mean, it's just overwhelming, surely. Then again, the knight does have the f5 square, so I don't know. Maybe rook takes is best. No, rook takes I can actually calculate, and I feel like we win an exchange. Okay, so it turns out that was the correct call. Let's have a look afterwards. What did the engine think of e takes? So yeah, the difference between +4 and +2. E takes, indeed they don't have to take. But they can take with the rook. Huh. Yeah, hold on a sec. Oh yeah, then we can take, and if they take, this is kind of similar. So what if they just don't take anything, right? What if they play queen b7? d6, rook d7. And here I didn't find a good enough response. Rook takes a5, just winning a pawn. Bishop f2, very calm move. Don't really get bishop f2. King a2 maybe avoids the checks, and now this capture is back on, but I guess they'll move a knight. I think this is not so easy to convert. It definitely looks nice. Maybe it's not so easy. Whereas rook takes d5, at least you're getting something tangible here. So if they take king h7. Queen c4. I guess I stopped looking after the winning of an exchange. Yeah, rook f1 is also very nice. Kind of forgot about that. But looks like everything is winning. So it's good that I kind of went first. Maybe I could have been more confident with it had I just seen one move further. So maybe that's what I need. Like, try not to just stop short of the evaluation after saying we're an exchange up, but actually find like either queen c4, rook f1. Then it's a lot clearer, right? But okay, at least we made the right call, even if it wasn't as convincing as we'd like. Forgot about that game. Well, Rando, if you're still playing Gurgenets in Modern, then send it my way. If you're not, well then, that's a shame, but it is what it is. Blackpool Open round 1, yes, that is correct. And I did say after this game I would have a quick look at the game, so let's have a very quick look. Watch. Let's go save this broadcast. Subscribe. There we go. Yeah, so we've got evaluation bars off. I guess we can see which games are still going. It'll be funny if I'm paired with one of these players tomorrow, then yeah, then I'll know that they're a little bit more tired. Any upsets so far? Oleg drew. I guess that's a bit of an upset. Although I'm pretty sure I recognize the name Senif. I think he's a strong player. Suraj won. And then the rest of the game's still going, yeah. Competitive games. Yeah, I'm honestly glad I could take the half round bye, because I feel like, you know, just staying one night over, you can kind of like really lock in for the weekend. But when it's like 2 nights, that's like a real shift, right? And it's not quite long enough for like a 9-rounder where you can really like get into the headspace of this is tournament chess, right? It's kind of in that like halfway house. So even though like I probably would have played had I not had work, I'm kind of glad about not playing this first round. Welcome Frizz, just saying hi. Going to sleep, math exam tomorrow. Best of luck. Good luck for the exam. I still playing the Gurgenets, but French your main opening. Interesting. I mean, definitely send it my way. There's no shame in like playing a bad game of chess. Like, you just need to learn from it. And the chances that you've understood everything about that loss more than like a potential insight that I can share that would improve your chess, it's not worth like hiding it. It's not like I'm going to show it on stream to everyone. So there are limits to the embarrassment. I'm sure it wasn't that awful either. Oh, this is an upset. Andrei Sirovin is 2200. I drew to him. But yeah, looks like this Harry guy lost. Harry guy won and didn't even. Yeah, Andre didn't even play on. 2200 ECF. Yeah, I guess messed up somewhere. Oh, this is like some prep. Oh, and Andre played b6? Yo. Come on, Andre. You're better than that. Wow, so all went quite wrong. It's quite shocking. God, after a game like that, losing the rook on a8, you never play b6 again. What the hell? I mean, I'm kind of surprised that like he just resigned in his final position, because I mean, it's like Oh, I guess if you can't defend f7, maybe it's just completely busted. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Your goat has returned. Welcome, Arif. Not sure I agree with that statement. Yeah, excited to play. It looks like there's a few upsets. I don't know if I'll be playing down or up tomorrow. Probably I'm playing down. That would make sense. But yeah, let's keep going. Howdy Kill. Kill Curry. No idea how to pronounce your name. Let's keep going with I realized I didn't change the overlay when having a quick look, but not that it was too important. Let's keep going with the training. So more Kramnik games. Let's think. Got Queen 2 Rooks, Bishop Bishop Knight against Queen 2 Rooks, Bishop Knight Knight. So we've got the bishop pair. Got 5 pawns against 6. We're a pawn down. They've got this past A pawn that long term can be strong, so we probably should act quite quickly. I don't know why, but bishop takes f7 jumps out in the position a bit. Like bishop f7, king f7, queen a2. Kind of looks like it could be some spice. Also tough to say if it actually leads somewhere or not. So anyway, let's keep thinking. So bishop pair, pawn down, we've got this a pawn. What tension do we have? We've got tension on f7. Maybe we can hop in knight f5. X-rays? Any more X-rays? I mean, we've got some back rank to the knight. Maybe X-ray to the king. Obviously an X-ray to the king. And then loose pieces. Loose bishop, loose rook, loose rook. Also some X-rays here. Only defended by the knight. God, my brain is clocking out. It's good though. It's good though. If today's a really bad chess day, tomorrow's going to be a really good one. That's how it works. That's how it works. It's actually a good thing we're kind of dopey. Right. So I think we identified everything. So let's just start looking at check captures threats. So bishop f7 is a check. Knight c6 is a capture. Queen h6 is a capture, probably terrible. And then threats, maybe knight f5, somewhat threatening, knight e6. Bishop b6 or bishop d6 potentially does something. Push e5. h4, h5 is probably a bit slow. So let's start with the check. Bishop f7, king f7. What ideas do we have here? We've got queen a2. Any other checks? That makes sense. Queen f4 is just hanging the queen. Bishop f7, king f7. We've sacked a piece, so probably we need to play queen a2. So queen a2, black has king f8, e7, and f6. If bishop f7, king f7, queen a2, king f8, then we've got knight e6. Rook takes e6, queen takes e6. The king is still weak. Kind of vibe with that. The knight on d7 is pinned due to rook d8. So Bishop f7, king f7, queen a2. What about king e7? Well, king e7, there's knight f5 check. Although now they can go king f8 and there's no more knight e6. But now on king f8, there's bishop d6, which wins the queen. So bishop f7, king f7, queen a2, king e7, knight f5. King f6 is the only other move then. Is that queen trapped if I play like bishop d6? Not quite. Not quite. Bishop f7, king f7, queen a2, king e7. Bishop d6 doesn't work because just king takes. King takes looks so dodgy, right? Wait, does that work? Bishop a2, king a2, queen a2. If king e7, we just go bishop d6. Forking king and queen. They can't go queen takes because of knight f5. So they have to go king takes. And then probably we've got like knight b3 at the least. Discovered check. So that picks up the queen, but have we sacked too much material? We may end up giving up 3 pieces for the queen and pawn, but the king is weak. I think I've got to trust that's winning. So that leaves us with bishop f7, queen a2, and king f6. King f6. Maybe, to be fair, there's this bishop d8 move. Because if rook takes, then we've got queen e6 check, king g5 forced. Kind of surprising if there's not a mate there. Probably like f4 looks somehow good, but maybe knight takes is fine. I don't know. I don't know, bishop f7 does definitely look strong. Were there any other alternatives I wanted to check out, like captures like knight c6? Probably not. I feel like bishop f7 is the only tactical shot. Would I be able to play it in a game at this point? Bishop f7, king f7, queen a2, king f6. Bishop d8, rook d8, queen e6, king g5. Looks very good. Knight f3. If king h5, then there's queen h3, knight h4. Then queen takes h4, king g6. The king wriggles away every time. I don't know. I can't calculate this. It's too deep. Does it feel winning enough to play it? I really don't know. I am giving up a lot of material. Should probably look at the other ideas. Like knight e6 doesn't really work. Knight f5. The bishop d6. Wait, bishop d6? Does this just win? No, I mean there's no discovered checks with the knight, so. I mean, I guess bishop f7, queen a2 is the answer, but I can't calculate it. It's too difficult. Bishop f7, king f7, queen a2. Wait, what about bishop f7, king f7, queen here, if king f6? Can't play bishop d6 again, can I? There's no good knight discovery this time. Gotta try it. I don't know. Like, it's probably right, but... And king f8 is like the worst one by far, right? We just go knight e6. And then that should be more than enough. Let's try it. Yeah, so I don't know why we're giving knight e6. Sorry, king f8 as the main line. King e7, I thought bishop d6 here was winning. But yeah, king f6 is going to be the main one. Bishop d6 does indeed win. Right, and I was a bit concerned that maybe we were giving up too much material here. But... yeah, I mean, a queen is a queen. Like, it's very, very strong. So, okay. And knight f5 was winning as well, which was, like, our initial idea. So that's fine. King f6, though, can only be refuted in one way. So why didn't you make that the main line? I guess maybe that's not what was played in the game, but, like, why wasn't that played in the game? Bishop d8, that was my move. Queen e6, king g5. And I could not find the win after knight f3. I did look at knight f3. And now there are several ways to mate in 3. Yeah, I couldn't see this. I just thought king h5 and I couldn't see the win. Because the queen is annoyingly defending this way, and we've given up a lot of material. Now there are several ways to mate in 3. What a cancerous comment. King h5, oh, g4 mate in 1. Shit. But yeah, this is what I calculated in my head. I saw knight h4 and then king g6, and I just thought the king wriggles away. If I'd seen queen takes d8, maybe I could have at least vouched for this. Did not see queen d8 at the end. It's so hard. g4 is a really nice mate. Did not spot that, annoyingly. And then on king f4, let me have to be able to make the call, to be able to just go for it. Maybe it also helps that in this position, like, white is statically a bit worse and needs to just go all in. Otherwise, his a pawn's just going to be strong. Nice kill. New sub to the YouTube channel. Appreciate it. We're above 4,000 now. That's kind of serious. So I'm still going to be making the same shoddy content. Nothing's going to change. King g5, knight f3, king f4, g3, king 3, rook d3. Nice, Bob. Good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. This was tough. At least I saw this idea of bishop f7, queen a2 very fast. And I saw most of the lines of analysis. Just this one line with king f6 was tough. Nice that I saw bishop d8 as well, though. So at least I'm seeing the right ideas. Even if I don't have the confidence yet to play them. How are we doing for time? Another 15 minutes. Okay, let's try our best. Are there any exciting games from this Blackpool that we should be keeping an eye on? Not really. I don't know, it's too difficult to follow. Just having a look at Cameron Beck's game. Yeah, I don't know. Let's keep going, I guess. Right, so Topalov to beat Kramnik. So we've got queen 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 4 pawns, a very strong e6 pawn. Queen 2 rooks, bishop knight. There's X-ray pressure this way, all the way down. X-ray pressure back. X-ray to the king. Pressure on the rook. Pressure this way as well. loose pieces. I mean, this guy's actually hanging. Everything else is relatively secure. So, okay, what checks do we have? We have no checks. What captures do we have? We got bishop takes, we got bishop takes, we got bishop takes, we got rook takes, we got queen takes. And what threats do we have? There's also X-ray pressure to the square, which could be concerning, although it's not mate. There's a escape. Then maybe there's some push, so maybe this X-ray is kind of relevant. But in terms of threats, maybe c4 does something. I don't know. So, okay, let's start with our checks. There were no checks. Let's look at our captures. If we take the rook and they just take back, guess that looks okay. Can we do anything else when we take? It kind of looks decent, so I'm guessing there's something even stronger. Otherwise, we just take the rook. What other captures do we have? I'm realizing if we capture like this and they take back, then maybe this bishop is strong, but firstly, they don't need to capture back, and second of all, I don't know how winning that is. This bishop f5 looks good. If the rook takes it, then we take that queen. If they take here, then we give a check, king f8, push. King g8 forced. Let's keep calculating. Can we promote? Or do they play queen f8 there? So maybe we take and promote. Well, if they take back, then we take. So this looks very good, actually. What other in-between moves can they try? Maybe rook here? Does that do something? To be fair, we can also still give a check. And on king here, then we can even take maybe. If takes, then I think this is mate. And if they were to take our rook instead, then I think we've still got e7. Looks good. I don't know, is this winning? Bishop f5? Got no counter checks. They do have one though. They could try to take here. I take back. Yeah, they can't avoid this bishop g6. I think bishop f5 just wins. Yeah, so we give a check here. Give a check here. Right? I guess they can sack already, but then we just take, and surely we're up in points. At the very least, queen e6 should be... Well, then I might get mated, you know. I need to be a bit careful. Is e7 actually winning? Or do I have to be more precise? e7 surely winning. e7, queen takes, bishop takes. Bishop takes. Maybe just queen takes g4. Surely enough. Yeah, e7 is winning. What am I doing? Also, actually makes a difference here what I play. I mean, yeah, don't play queen e6 and blunder mate in 1. I just thought taking is good enough, but maybe it gets hairy after rook check and king f3. So what's a simpler way to do all this? reason why I didn't suggest queen f2 is because I thought maybe bishop f6. If queen check, then they can just go back. If then queen check and they go back, have I gained anything from this elaborate plan? If just queen g4... Just queen g4, rook d8 to d2, king f3. I don't know, I can imagine getting mated here actually. Queen g4, rook d2, king f3, rook f1. If king e3, then there's like knight c4. So that doesn't look good. Queen g4, rook d2, king f3, rook f1, king e4 maybe? Maybe that's slightly safer. But maybe I never escape, right? Maybe they just go like rook e1. But then I've got rook e3. It feels like it does survive, you know? Feels like it does survive. Are we brave enough to just play queen g4 already? What they... Yeah, my bishop's even controlling the square. Should be fine. Yeah, let's take it this way. The only winning move, and that's why we don't play this fucking style of chess. It's a load of shit. But at least my games are never gonna be this messy. So annoying though. Bishop d3. What a move. Did not consider it for 1 second. Did anyone find this move? Okay, so good job Bob and Ara for finding bishop takes f5. Queen f2, bishop f6, rook e3, rook d2, rook e8. Missed that completely, actually pretty easy. Yeah, I don't know. Bishop d3 is it's a if you see it then you can play it quite quickly, but I don't know, it's like the bishop's looking so good on g6, you don't really think about moving it. Which is kind of a... Yeah, if you're just disciplined, right? It's all about discipline. If you're disciplined to look at every single piece move, then this will come to mind. But when you're just lazy and you're like, oh, the bishop's already on a good square, you just forget to move it. Let's actually... Okay, that's fine. Let's play this move and then let's analyze. Can't believe bishop d3 is the only move. I also want to check out Bob's line of queen f2. So I thought this was fine. Rook 8 d2, king f3, rook f1, king here. I thought this was chilling. Knight c4 anyway, and apparently I don't win this. That is crazy. I guess I don't. There's just not enough happening. Jesus Christ. Yeah, bloody knight c4. It's not even a check, doesn't have to be. There's just no threats here, which is kind of crazy. Kind of thought there would be, but that's, I guess, just lazy thinking. It's kind of wild. Yeah, and this queen f2, I think this was what Bob said. So this was the second best play, so fair enough. But yeah, apparently just knight c4. If rook 1 d2, then there's rook e8. Yeah, wow. What a line, Bob. What a line. Nice find. I saw it says Pavel, but didn't think it was the only move. Definitely, Pavel, drop a message in chat next time you think you find the move bishop d3. Because I'm not checking chat when I'm solving, so you can discuss between yourselves. So be sure to state whatever moves you find. Okay, I've got 2 minutes to go. Let's try and squeeze one final one in. I hate doing this, but it's good for me. Alright, Kramnik versus Carlsen. Gold, queen, rook, rook. 4, 5, 6. Queen, rook, rook. Knight, 4. Okay, so there's knight and 4 against 6. So, what tension is there on the board? There's tension on e6, there's x-ray to e8, tension on a7, tension over here. King is extremely weak, x-ray like this. Maybe x-ray to the back rank, queen is cutting off some escape squares. How can the knight get involved? Maybe something like this. Also come back to the defense, maybe. Knight is also protecting e6, which is quite important, otherwise rook e6 might be on the cards. Right, so if we looked at all the x-rays, so what about loose pieces? Loose rook on g8. So maybe then like moves like this come into the equation. Loose rook on d6, loose rook on a1, loose rook on h5, loose pawn. Also loose pawn. Also loose pawn. Lots of loose pawns. Okay, fine. So what checks do we have? We've got rook e6, we've got queen f7, we've got rook d8. What captures do we have? We can capture e6, capture a7, capture f7. What threats do we have? I don't know why, but queen d5 just looks suddenly very funny. This kind of idea, but probably doesn't work. But it's still a threat, I guess. Maybe queen d1? Don't know. Queen h7, threat. Queen h8, also a threat. Right, so what checks do we have? Let's begin there. So rook e6, knight e6 is probably forced. Is there a follow-up? Not really. Maybe one of the threats from before, but why give up the rook? If we check on f7 and take with the queen, not so sure about that either. Rook d8, just rook takes d8. Nothing has changed. I guess we can now take the knight, maybe. So rook d8, maybe also king takes is fine. But even rook d8, queen takes c5, probably were just worse. Although we are threatening to take on a7. Rook d8 is such a silly move. It can't be good. Can't be good. Yeah, we'll leave that for now. So captures rook a7, queen a7. Has that changed the position in some way? Not really. Let's look at our threats. So what about this queen h8? If they do nothing, we're going to take the rook. If they take us, we promote and we've won a rook. If they play king e7, we can also protect this rook and save our queen, so this looks good. So queen h8. What if they play king e7 immediately? Come on. Queen h8, king e7. Is there really nothing? Really don't see it. Queen h8, king e7, queen h4. They take my rook. It's just bad. It's just bad. So what about queen h7? Queen h7 hits the rook. What if, again, king e7? Is there any difference here? Again, looks bad for me. I was thinking, is there a way, like, I don't know, to do this and block the king, but they still got king e7. This is nothing. And if it takes the knight, there's no difference here, right? I can't do something like this. Okay. Maybe rook a6 or rook e1 to try and threaten to take on e6. Seems a bit slow, but maybe it's strong. I don't know. Rook e1, they can just go here. I guess if we... Oh, that's not even safe. Jesus Christ. Rook e1, we just go king e7. Did I look at the sack? Surely it's nothing. b6 somehow a threat? Rook c6 kind of is a threat. Rook c6 maybe provokes this. Pawn takes, queen takes. Maybe now rook a7. That kind of looks alright. Rook c6. With the threat of like taking the knight and also taking on a7. So rook c6, what can we do? Yeah, this actually looks very nice. Rook c6, rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes, rook takes a7. I think white's doing really well there. They can't take on g7 due to queen h8. That looks really good. So good that I think I'm going to play it. Let's try it. Rook c6, let's go. What a baller. What a baller I am. And now just rook takes a7 was my idea, and I thought this is just good enough. Damn it! Damn it! I thought we were going to end on a high. What is this? Ah, shit, there's no more king e7. It's just impatience, right? It's just I can't sit and actually just look through these damn lines because there's just so many. So long to look at each of these lines. I already thought rook a7 would be enough. I mean, it just looks like, you know, there's so many... I don't know, it just looks like black's got nothing to do, but it's just lazy. It's just absolutely lazy. Oh, man, there's no king e7 anymore. Actually trash. Just wins a rook. How cooked is rook takes a7? Probably loses all the advantage. Okay, it's plus 1.6. Not quite winning a rook. At least I felt like it was winning, right? It was plus 6 except for one move, 97. I guess 97 is like some killer of a move. The only move is h4. Gets a singular 1. It doesn't even get 1.0. It's just a singular 1. 1 and 0. There we go. h4 wins. Happy days. Nah, I'm just bad at this game. h4. Yeah, I don't know. It's just laziness to not consider like my alternatives. Oh, God. So I'm going to get a lot of sleep. I've got to wake up early tomorrow. I'll probably maybe do maybe 2 calculation exercises before bed just to like really knock myself out. And also pack my bags for tomorrow, so that's all happening. And the reason why I couldn't pack is because I need to pack my laptop for the chess lessons that I'm going to be teaching on Sunday. So, had to stream this fast. So, there we go. Why is Arif screaming 6-7? Nobody knows, nobody cares. How did people do? Raphael, you guys are supposed to be suggesting moves because I am not reading chat until after. Rook c6, nice find though. Rook c6 from Raphael. Oh, rook takes a7 was your line too? Okay, so we both missed queen h8. Oops. Is there a difference on queen Queen h8 first. Queen h8 first, I believe just king e7. And then if rook c6, then you can just play rook takes queen, right? Pawn takes rook takes, and it's just over. I mean, rook c6, rook takes c6. Oh, and then queen h8. That's a fair point. That's a very fair point. Let me check that. If rook c6, rook takes c6, queen h8 does indeed win, but apparently not as much because of rook back to c8 is ridiculous. And if takes king e7, what's the difference between these two lines? You're just an exchange up now, as opposed to a whole rook up? Somehow? Don't ask me how that works, because the math ain't mathing right now. Also, surely a move like queen c8 would be better, but then I guess you just take on a7, right? Because, yeah. Oh, this is also just an exchange. But somehow this line is like a better version. I guess we've had an extra trade of pawns, right? Did we even... Or did we just lose a pawn? Somewhere we lost a pawn is better. I don't know. Rook c8 again. I don't know, Arav. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. You got the engine move. Guess I should give you some credit. But yeah, I don't know. Still, okay, it's very nice that we found rook c6, but I need to put in more effort. Hopefully I've got a bit more energy to spare in my games tomorrow, and I can really exert myself. That's what I'm planning to do. So, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Blackpool Congress is where I'm going to be playing. If I'm on the top 12 boards, I should be on live boards. Probably I won't be tomorrow. And if I win my game, then I definitely will be in round 2. So, exciting times ahead. And yeah, best of luck to me. And okay, that was good. So, thanks for tuning in. See you on Monday after the Congress is over. Cheers. Also, welcome, Peter. Bye, Peter. See you guys.